Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So in this one, we are taking a look at the developer Q&A update for December 14th, 2022. So, got some good questions this week. Let's take a look at them. First question, congrats on winning Mobile Game of the Year. Did the team do anything big to celebrate at the office? Many of us were in the office to celebrate together. It was super special, so that's cool. Then a question, are we getting a reward for winning the Mobile Game of the Year? Steven says we are still working out details on what we will give for the Game of the Year reward. So they said they were going to do something. Sounds like they're still planning on it. They're just trying to figure out what the best thing is to do there. And then is shadow banning a thing? So for anyone who doesn't know what shadow banning is, it's when a user gets banned, usually on a forum or a website, but the website doesn't actually tell them they're banned. They can still, comment or do other things, but other people will not run into them. So shadow banning in a game like this probably would result in the player only running into bots rather than real players. Steven says there is no shadow banning. We only suspend accounts for naming policy violations. That's good to know. Be careful if you are signing up with a risky name, I suppose. Then if I open a Series 3 card, does my timer for the Series 4 card reset? And Series 3 and 4 are on separate pity timers, so that is good to know. Thought it would work that way. Nice to see some confirmation. Will the hero bundle ever come back in the future, or bundles? Steven says the bundles are available for a limited time to celebrate the music video. So this one kind of a little bit of sidestepping the question directly here. This answer kind of makes sense. It leaves it open-ended where they could bring them back at some time in the future if they wanted to, but it doesn't really make sense to say that right now. A big part of what sells these bundles often is this limited availability. Unfortunately, it's not a great tactic, but it's proven to work. So they're limited time. Is it possible they could come back in the future? They're not saying no, but so far everything they've said about bundles and cosmetics and everything, it doesn't seem there's a way to get it in the future. Maybe that'll change, but for the time being, I would not expect these bundles to come back based on prior statements and the one we got here. Are mystery variant wildcards always a 700 gold one? And the answer is yes. So this confirms you cannot get one of those 1200 gold from the store variants if you're getting it randomly through the season pass, through the season caches, through regular caches. You can only get the 700 gold ones. And like they mentioned before, you can't get bundle ones in there either. If I buy a bundle that has cards I do not own, can I use those cards and still unlock the base card later? That is correct. If you do not own the base card, it could also show up in your token shop and you will still get it later, but it does let you play with it right away. Right now, I see all cards I have upgrade materials for. Can I search for just the ones I have materials and credits to upgrade? Steven says this could be a better experience for sure. Recommend sorting by quality to see all your comments at the top, but it sounds like they do know that the kind of I think there definitely is a lot to be improved upon the collection management screen, and I think they probably see that as well. Would the team ever be open to introducing stat trackers to cards? Something like games won, locations won, cards destroyed, etc. would be awesome. Steven says, for a long time we have wanted to add trackers as a new split type. No ETA yet, but I want it so bad. This would be cool. I've seen this in other games where there are stats on your card where you can look and see, hey, my Omega Red or my Red Skull or whatever card, or your Death, whatever your favorite card is. You can see how many games you won with it and other little fun stats. I think that's neat. It'd be cool to see it added in the game. And I guess adding it as a split variant kind of makes sense, but if they did do that, I would hope they don't make it one of the rare ones and make it kind of just a common thing you get after one or two splits. Was there a change in progression design philosophy? You once said during beta that you added caches so that completing an entire collection of every card will occur much faster than before. Is this no longer relevant? I love this question. This is a really good question. Probably the best question of the whole interview. Because I think there is a bit of a shift in towards how a lot of beta players and new players are feeling towards the game, because a lot of players, myself included, felt like, well, it'll take some time, but you'll eventually finish your Pool 3 collection, and then you might not get things right away, but you will still get new cards as they come out just a little bit afterwards. But now, with these Pool 4 and Pool 5 cards, starting to feel like, and I mean, they've even mentioned, I think specifically, that they don't really want people to have a full collection of cards, which is a very different philosophy than the quote that Marvel Snap Zone is mentioning here. So I'm glad they asked this. Let's see what the answer is. Steven says, we have always desired for every player to have a unique collection and journey through the game. That has not changed. Most of our team plays the game. We have used our own money to buy variants or progress. No free handouts, so we can experience the same thing as any other player. Using myself as an example, I have hit Infinite every season as a primary season pass only spin. This does not really answer the question, honestly. I mean, it does a little bit. They're basically saying, they're trying to say their philosophy hasn't changed. This has kind of always been their philosophy, that, they think you can get by with what you have. Nobody needs to have everything. That's a tough pill to swallow for card game enthusiasts. I do think this is going to be a topic that we see brought up over and over and over again until something changes, because I think currently the method of acquiring Pool 4 and more importantly Pool 5 cards, especially at the new rate they're going to be spitting them out, doesn't really work. I don't think it's a positive for the game. I think it's going to cause more frustration than fun. And I think we're going to see this really boil over in maybe like 2 to 3 months, when most of the new players who started at launch start to reach the end of their Pool 3 collection. Because that's when, if you think getting cards is a pain right now, you ain't seen nothing yet, unfortunately. But I'm sure that's a topic we're going to talk quite a bit about in the future. But neat to see their response here. It's kind of funny. It feels like the developers are viewing this lack of getting a full collection as a feature, and the players are viewing it as a bug. And it's like, at some point, something is going to have to give. Either the players are going to have to basically just give up and accept it, or the developers are going to have to change something. It'll be interesting to see which of those two things ends up happening first. Last question for the week of December 14th here. What are the possibilities of adding backgrounds to the game? Steven says they want to make new boards, but no ETA at this time. I think this came up once before. Cool to see. I would like new boards on the game. I think that's just a neat way to keep the UI looking fresh, but definitely sounds like they are not going to be coming in the near future. But that is going to wrap it up for this week's Q&A. Again, link in the description if you want to check it out on Marvel Snap Zone yourself. Highly recommend doing so. They do some great work, and I think they should be supported. But yeah, it's going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Goody.